Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I'm Inquisitor Temperance Prize, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is my report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee and players Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, Tyler Hewitt as Attikus Viz, Del Borovic as Morgan Rolls, and Josh Halbot as Gideon Vega. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band are assaulting the Filth Lord himself. Valentine disabled the sprayers over the gate. Morgan used Toby to carry Trin Rakai. Attikus engaged one of the demon hosts, and Gideon gave Origath an Imperial name before the fighting started. Can these heroes survive a battle with a Chaos Lord, or will their journey end here? Find out next in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
Do your worst, Filth Lord, but know that Tzeentch reigns at... The Eternal Blasphemy, Elmstadt. Getting hosed.
Getting hosed.
Jesus.
We've all been there, am I right?
All right. So we are on Pustulus's turn in our battle at the top of the tower in the center of Cleon, the Dreaming City, deep in the warp. Your goal is to get through the warp gate to the Black Library using your murdered, blasphemous Trin Rakai soulstone, which is currently plugged into Lizardman, who is hanging from
Toby's
Toby
grasp, yeah.
using Jeffrey's arm. There's just a lot of robot companion tools going on. That's fine. With your new companion, formerly known as Origath, now known as Jeffrey Schwarzenberger, you have raided this room only to find that the warp gate is deeply ensconced inside what used to be the governor of this planet, the demon prince of this world, Elmstadt, who is now a giant, horrible warp tumor, being controlled by 4 sorcerers who are currently weaving their disgusting Nurgle ways around it. The Filth Lord, Pulus, is engaged in combat with Origath, and Attikus is fighting a green demon host, having just punched its jaw off, dealt critical damage. Valentine managed to take out the sprayer that was that we heard in our delightful intro, that was helping to transform Elmstadt. So at least that immediate threat to you is done. But there are Nurglings in the corners and more demon hosts around. So let's see how this all goes. I will start by rolling for Pulus. Let's see what happened.
I just wanted to start a really juvenile chant of like, fall on your face. Fall on your face.
Do nothing, do nothing.
Okay.
Shit your pants.
Step on your dick.
That gives him power.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Wipe your butt. Wipe your butt.
Take a shower.
Take a shower. Yeah.
Wipe your
Two of us take a shower.
I thought exactly
Our
the
deep
same.
cut insults against this.
Well, pooping himself is helping him. Then obviously the opposite.
Yeah. Take a... what's the opposite of a laxative? I'm trying to remember the technical term.
something that constipates you?
Yeah. Anyways, we don't need this.
No,
Tom,
yeah.
roll your dice, please. We're just filling time while you build a die pool. Just go, buddy.
I'm sorry.
So, okay. All right. So I have 5 yellow against 2 purple for Origath. I don't get any boost.
Does Origath have defense?
Yeah, he gets defensive 1 for his armor. Do you want to spend a story point to
Farewell,
protect?
He is here.
Jeffrey.
He
New
is here.
Jeffrey.
Sweet Jeffrey.
Jeffrey is here to die heroically. He is set it at the door. That's how he saves his soul. Only in death does duty end.
Okay. So
Duty.
we get 6 on top of our damage is 9. We got another 6 on top of that. So 15 to Origath. I get 1 threat, which we'll deal with in a second. Let's see how he handles that. I think the answer is badly, but let's see. Okay, he's still up.
Jeffrey.
Oh, but then the other stuff happens, so we'll see. But there's no advantage, so that's
no,
good.
Please, God, no.
And it's breach, so that actually does more damage to him.
Yeah, we've said breach is multiplied by 2 for Pierce.
Yeah, so that brings him down a little bit more. Yeah, that sucks. Let's see here. Then he has to take a check against the poison because
Nurgle Poison works on
monsters.
Nurgle champions. This is complicated shit. I wouldn't.
Oh, I guess not actually. Yeah, you're right. Because he's
Yeah, 'cause I'm
a
like,
He's a
Nurgle
Nurgly boy.
Yeah, he's a
Stinky.
Nurgly boy. So no, he doesn't need to worry about.
Just in
poison.
his heart, he's human,
Yeah.
but not physically.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been corrupted beyond belief. If Valentine had met him on any other world, bullet in the face,
Instantly.
cursed soul to oblivion. You should have died in the first war. You're a coward for taking the deal.
That's okay. We needed him for a bit.
Yep, he's a hero now.
Is he though?
I don't have an answer to that question, Tom.
I don't like that question.
NPC fight, Tom.
Okay, so what's the opposite of a laxative? There's a
I
term
was
for
thinking
it.
Pepto-Bismol.
I mean, I know what
Yeah,
it is,
right,
but
but
like,
what
is
the
there a
actual,
term for like
diuretic versus
diuretic makes you pee versus
what stops you from
versus-
peeing?
yeah,
Oh,
like
that's
what-
a pencil eraser.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So he deals a bunch of damage to Origath with his blade, and then just kind of tilts his head at him because he didn't die, and says, "Interesting." And Jeffrey says, "Yes, ow." So he's still up, but is in a lot of damage. Okay, so next up, then that was Postulus. We've got G. So that
Nice.
goes over to our friend Gideon.
Yeah, so the Inquisitor told Gideon just to take down the tumor, but then I think seeing Origath struggle as badly as he has right now, he's going to slide up behind Attikus. Who are you still
I'm fully in melee combat,
in melee combat with
a demon host?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's going to slide up and feeling a little more confident on the battlefield and a little more confident in his decisions. He's going to eschew the tumor for just a second, and he's going to try and set up a barrier around Attikus and Jeffrey. And he's going to say something like, "Inquisitor, I'm doing something," and he's going to try this instead.
So Jeffrey, you mean your Jeffrey, not
Yes,
old Jeffrey?
Good Jeffrey.
Wait,
Origath.
New Jeffrey.
New Jeffrey.
or new
Yeah.
Jeffrey? Okay,
Yeah.
so they aren't super close to each other.
Do they need to be side by side?
They don't need. They just need to be within the range band.
Oh,
Are they like if I kind of center
He
myself
can
between
create
the two of
spheres
them?
around people. He just has to pay more for hitting more
I see.
people with the
okay.
spear.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's totally fine. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, in my head it was like just putting up one. It was the Sue Storm like Invisible Woman shield, and
Yeah.
I'm like, and also you, like you're
Yeah.
far away. But yeah, no, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
as long as they're within the thing, and then
Great.
I can
You can
bump it
spend
to
to
give an
perfect.
extra
Yep,
thing.
yep, love
Because
that.
he can do it as a wall, or it's like a traditional D&D shield around himself or whoever.
Gotcha. Yeah. I love that.
And
That
then
is
I'm also
good.
going to bump it to add some defense to it as well. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how that works.
Appreciate that.
What
Yeah.
could go wrong from pushing?
What could go wrong?
That's just what we've learned.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Anything else? Oh, do I need to make a fear check first?
Well, no, because I don't think you're. No, I'm going to say because you're focused on Attikus and New Jeffrey that you're like that's. It's a little bit of like in a horror movie where you're like, if I just look at the bottom right hand corner of the screen, I won't see as much nightmares. So yeah, so let's go with that. That said, I am going to add a setback for the warp interference we talked about earlier. I think that doesn't affect fear, but for like using psyker powers, I feel like that could definitely add some bad. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, let's give it a shot. Ooh, I got a success, 2 advantages, and a triumph.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Nothing bad ever happens to psychers. It's the best.
So let's
This feeling
see.
will never end.
I've forgotten the last session already.
Yeah.
That's right.
So just from a mechanical perspective, so I can concentrate and hold these up. If the check is successful until the end of the character's next turn, reduce the damage of all hits the target suffers by 1, and further reduce it by 1 for every uncanceled 2 successes, but I don't have any of those. But I do have a triumph on the end of that, which I don't know if there's like a strictly mechanical thing that I can do with those, or is it more just like a...
Might be able to open it up to more narrative things.
Good question. Yeah.
It's good to check specifically for psycher stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think the psychers have a specific triumph
No, they
spend
don't.
outside of the
Looks-
normal.
but-
So it's probably the narrative.
Yeah.
Do something vital that changes the balance in the scene. Or, oh yeah, actually that's it.
I can upgrade the ability of an ally's next check.
Correct?
So maybe could I do that for Origath? Or for
Yeah,
Jeffrey?
that makes sense. I like that. Perfect.
So I think he'll put this sort of wreath them both in psychic flame, and he'll say to Jeffrey. And then,
you mean me?
you, yes. And he's going to kind of repeat some of the same things that he said back to him.
Great.
And he's saying like let go, use the warp.
Great. And he'll hold his sword out kind of as you're saying that into the flame and just let the flame like envelop the sword. And then bring the flaming sword kind of back around in front of him.
Perfect. Oh, also one more thing I forgot. Because I bumped it, each affected target gains ranged and melee defense equal to my ranks in discipline. So you both gain 2 defense
Nice.
on both sides.
You needed that. That's dope.
Thank you, sir.
I'm here for you.
So in terms of positioning in the room, you kind of dashed into the room and then cast this spell to the right, so you're dead in line with the elevator, or are you still in the elevator?
I thought I would be kind of in between because I have to get close enough to both of them, so I'm kind of like triangulated in between the two of them.
Yeah. So kind of up near, you're actually pretty close to the plague sorcerer who's like working their wares, but so a little ways into the room, close to the tumor and the plague sorcerer.
Cool.
Okay, great. Very cool. Next up, we have Morgan.
All right. Morgan is going to sight up on one of the plague sorcerers, as she was told to do, and we'll take a shot. I want the one that is closer to where Attikus and Gideon are, because in her mind, it's like, okay, if we can carve out this corner, that can be our corner kind of thing. So I want to take out the ones that are all in the one that's closer on that side.
Okay. So just for clarity, looking along that side, there's one that's closer to you, who's basically standing next to Gideon. There's one that is further into the room, who's closer to New Jeffrey and Attikus. You're talking about closer, the furthest, or the closer one.
How many there's 4 sorcerers.
4 sorcerers.
I
and
thought there were 2.
No, so
Okay.
there's 2 on the
I
right. There's
see.
kind of further in and closer to
so
you.
basically, if you think of the warp tumor as the center of the room, there's a box around them of sorcerers.
I
so in
see.
the corners, and then at the sides, on either side of it is a demon host. So there's a demon host that Attikus is fighting on your right. There's also a demon host in the middle of the room on your left.
Okay.
Sorcerer-wise, you can think of them as like the basically the southeast, northeast, blah, blah, blah.
Understood. I'm going to take the closer one so that we can
Makes
start
sense.
carving a path
And I
towards
thought-
this gate. Yes,
with the idea of like taking a corner, you're definitely not taking Pustulus's corner.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
Okay. So this is a pretty easy shot for you at this range. I'd say this is range. You're in the
Oh,
elevator.
do I need to make a fear check against this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Person. I'll start there.
Well, actually, I don't know if you need to against the sorcerers.
Sorcerer?
I don't know. Let me check.
Is it just a goopy, tiny person?
I think they're just kind of gross.
It's just magic.
They're mortal
nerds.
psychers, but not scaring us enough.
I will take
We'll
it.
see. Let me just double check against the thing. But no, I think
It's the Nurgle stuff that is making the fear. Like it's
the actual
decay
demonic
and
things. It's like there's
okay.
demons inside the demon hosts,
Sure.
and Pustulus is also like
A demon lord,
demonically
yeah.
and warp enhanced. Whereas they are warp ritual casters, which means their magic is horrifying, and they themselves have been corrupted, but perhaps are not as powerful as the others. It's like when they talk about Chaos Lords in the game, there are some of them that are like emanate despair and horror even walking by them, whereas cultists, you can be a high-level priest of chaos and still walk down the street and nobody knows you're any different than anybody else. Obviously, these people are wearing goo, but
yeah, no, there's no fear for this because I think the way you describe it is correct,
Open
Ryan. It's
season on
just like,
sorcerers.
you
Okay.
know, a person who is doing a scary thing, not a
That makes sense.
inherently scary themselves.
Cool.
Okay, so your range band for this, you're still in the elevator. Shooting on the elevator. So that's range band 2.
Okay.
It's very close by.
All right.
They don't have any defense because they're sorcerers. Their Perils of the Warp is bad. They've got some magic shit they can do, but that's not important right now. Oh man, this guy's fucked.
We're going to try.
Yeah, so difficulty 2, no defense. He's stationary. I assume you're doing all your aiming
I'm going to
shit.
do aim.
Yeah, I don't have any additional stank to put on this one.
Perfect.
So.
Then Morgan's just taking that shot before doing anything else. We'll try and take out one. So, all right. We got 5 successes and 5 advantages.
Nice.
So that is damage. 13 damage, pierce 2.
You like open fire and just like blast a hole through the sorcerer, and for a moment like swirling gooey energy kind of flicks off them. Still standing, but like staggered, like kind of on one knee, still kind of holding up their hand, just yelling, Lord Postulus, please, it hurts.
All right. Then
I thought Grandfather Nurgle meant no more pain, but this hurts.
Okay, I'm going to take 2 advantages to get myself strain, and then I will do crit 3, and I'll roll a crit on this, since it's not dead.
Whoa.
Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Since I have that.
Good God.
All right. 8.
Hey.
Very nice.
88.
88. They are compromised. Increase difficulty of all skill checks by 1 until the injury is healed.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So still like trying to gutturally kind of like cough up this spell. But having been hit, they're not generating the same amount of like phlegm and other things because they're so you see the kind of like undulating and shifting on this corner ceases as they fail to be able to continue to cast the spell. They're trying,
Okay.
but it's like trying to see someone trying to like sing after getting punched in the throat. They're just like desperately trying, but failing. So that one is currently inoperable. Yeah.
Great. And if Trin Rakai wants to try and take a shot, they're above us.
Being held by the arm, though, right?
Being held by the shoulders with claws.
Yeah.
So the arm is just
The
out.
arm is free and has Atticus's last pistol, which
You
was
know.
formerly.
I don't know how good
Why
of a shot
not?
this
Yeah,
is, but
okay.
hey,
last
you
pistol
know.
has had a lot of ownership.
Yeah.
Valentine took it from a corpse. Like,
Yeah.
it's
This can't
It's
possibly
been a lot of
be
people's
It's
last
traveled
guess.
around.
This can't possibly be a difficult check.
It's
That's gotta
our
be easy.
shared family last pistol.
Yeah. All right. So I will say Trin Rakai is not a great shot in a robot body.
Hell yeah. I just figure for flavor it'd be fun.
It is worth. It's definitely worth a try. Probably should have just added it as a
Oh, I
setback,
didn't
as
even
what
think of
it is,
that.
but
Yeah.
no, I didn't think of it either. Setback, advantage for flying. Okay, so we got,
Good angle.
yeah, we'll see. 1 success, 2 threat.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
No kidding.
just like flying, just like awkwardly flying, and you just hear Trin say, "No shrieking catapult, but hey, why not?" And just start opening fire. And it's a robot arm, so the arm is actually like there's no recoil. So he misses 3 or 4 times, and then Toby just like shifts, like moves the line.
Rail shooter.
And he says, "Thank you, bird. You may join my cabal." And the last pistol round hits this sorcerer just as they're like they cough. They say, I think it's clear, Lord Postulus. It's clear. And then the last round hits them, and they die.
Beautiful.
Nice. Good call.
Well done, Del.
And
Teamwork.
Yeah.
yeah, Trin's like, I did it. So sorcerer goes down, but we do have 2 threat. So
Do you want to give me a setback for later? Or
no, I want to fuck up Trin Rakai because it's his.
that's true.
his arm falls off.
Disarmed.
I think
Bang, bang, clang.
Yeah,
Or it's just empty,
He says
yeah.
like, yeah, okay, I'll take that. Yeah, the arm, like the firing has jostled it enough that it falls down. And he goes,
Launches it.
"Oh, little help. I'm unarmed." But still one dead. So good,
Yay.
good job,
Nice.
Morgan and only Morgan. Okay, that brings us to Valentine.
Valentine, looking at this fluid tactical situation that is not going according to plan, needs to save himself for when Gideon decides to do his job and get us access to the warp gate. Because Gideon got caught up in combat, which doesn't matter. But Valentine, there's no point in telling him he lacks confidence already. Valentine is going to book it to the right because he wants to keep the combat between him and the other enemies who might join combat. Valentine does not want to draw the other
I
attention.
will warn you as you turn right into the room, there is a swarm of Nurglings, smaller than the ones you fought downstairs, but a swarm of Nurglings who are all just kind of like standing there watching this happen and then yelling hooray and getting excited to bust in there. What do you do?
Great. The Nurglings don't matter tactically to the situation, but if he can make the gate thing better, then he can. So Valentine will expend 2 strain to double move so he can kind of hook around, book it past / through,
Yep.
whatever the fuck he needs with Nurglings. He basically wants to get playing along the wall to get past, so that between the demon host and the other sorcerers, except for kind of the like a southernmost or whatever the furthest was from the door, he just wants Attikus and Gideon and everybody in the way.
So basically, it's you're going to the right wall.
The right wall, at the center, and then he's just going to bring his bolt pistol up and shoot at the closest sorcerer to him now, who was the right side furthest one from Morgan. Because the first one's down, so he's going to take his shots at the other.
Perfect.
I like to imagine Valentine stepping through Nurglings a little bit like someone just like walking, trying to just like having to hike your legs up to just kind of get up and over them.
He's high-kneeing it while running.
Yeah, the refractor field is just bumping them gently aside.
He's tall and awkward enough. It is an accidental John Cleese silly walk as he stomps a couple of Nurglings running towards his position. Alrighty. What is my difficulty, Tom?
So I'd say you're with a pistol, probably 2.
Okay.
Range band 2. I'm going to give you a setback for Pulus and Origath kind of fighting in that area. There's enough, and the fire shields are up. There's just enough that can like distract. You can take a boost for, you're not aiming, but like he's standing still and his attention is elsewhere.
He's sorcering.
Yeah, busy sorcering. I think that's it.
Great. Tempered Will can remove 1 setback die from the disoriented condition. So if the flames and other things disorienting him are the subtraction.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Okay. Because I was like, if it's just them being physically in the way,
well,
then
it was
it's
a bit of both, but I would buy the argument that Tempered Will is like having the wherewithal to just hold a shot until the moment is correct. So
cool.
Yep.
Alrighty, let's see what happens. 1 advantage, 1 failure.
Okay, so the bolt goes wide and explodes off the tumor, causing just a gaping hole that immediately starts to kind of like refill with nonsense. You had 2 advantages?
1 advantage. So I'll just throw a boost forward to whoever the next ally is that goes.
Cool, great.
Because he's firing right near all the people I know are above me in the initiative order, so it makes sense for it to distract someone in combat to have random bolts going off nearby.
Cool. So that brings us to the Nurglings. The swarm that you just ran through is going to chase you.
Of course.
And so that's 1 range band, so they can get to you. So they move to you. We'll just do these in the order in which they occur. So Nurgling swarm is attacking you. What's your defense right now, Valentine?
Melee defense is 4.
4? Okay. I don't think there's really much to add here. So I've got 1 yellow, 3 green against 2 purple, 4 red. 4 black.
Yeah, I think that's just what it is.
Yep. All right. What it is. Okay. 3 success and 5 threat. So that's gonna be a weird ride for all involved.
No crits though. That's good because those guys were critting us.
Yeah,
like crazy.
they're crit hungry. Yeah. Okay, so Valentine, they do a total of 9, but it's not pierce, or anything like that, as you'd expect. And I need you to please roll me a 2 purple resilience to avoid being poisoned.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
While we're assembling this die pool, what was your question about defense?
Were you at 1 and then got up to 3, or were you at 3 already?
I had 1 from armor and then 2 more from this shield that we cobbled together. So I'm sitting at 3 range defense.
Sure. You get an extra 2 from my thing.
That applies to melee and range?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, I just wanted to make sure you got them both.
Thank you.
Okay, the boost that was going forward to the next ally's check is now my check to resist poison. So I will throw that boost on there. I think that's it, unless we want to argue the Inquisitorial experience with poison, but this is warp. They never would have given him warp, so he wouldn't have an experience with this. He has experience with some poisons, but not enough that I think it would balance
this is like weird Nurgle cocktail.
That's what I mean. It's just different. Alrighty, let's see what happens. 1 success, 1 advantage. So I will pass that boost forward to the next person.
So
it's
2
next ally.
now, 2 extra boosts.
Just 1. I used 1 for that check because it was the next roll.
Yeah,
He passed it forward to
I didn't know I was going to get bitten immediately afterwards.
Yeah, so similar enough that you're able to shake it off. All right, great. So that's the first Nurgling swarm. Second one is closest to Pulus and New Jeffrey. So it's going to charge New Jeffrey, who has added defense from Gideon, which is huge for this, vitally important. I'm actually going to give them an additional setback for rushing up against a flame wall as a swarm. I feel like that's bad for swarming. Normally they get advantage because they can like sneak in amongst your feet and shit. So that's 2. It's the same business. I'm gonna. They'll get a boost because he's already engaged. All right, so we got 1 yellow, 3 green, 1 blue, 2 purple, 4 black. We got a triumph, 2 success, and 2 threat. Oh, and we didn't deal with the threat from last round.
Right.
I went to look it up, and then my computer froze. So how would you guys, Valentine? How would you like to spend the threat? Because technically, it's your. Like normally, I would spend threat, obviously, but he's a baddie, so I feel like that lets you.
Okay, so if he
spend,
so I'm spending them as advantage, correct?
I mean, I'd let you spend them as like threat.
I just got to look up how I can spend threat.
Yeah, I know it's a weird situation, but I'd also let you spend them as advantage if you'd prefer.
I mean, I got a pitch. If you want to pitch, we've had this combat exploding. Valentine fired bolts and missed. He had 1 advantage. Instead of passing that forwards, if he combos that with 2 more. He misses his gunfire at the sorcerer, but manages to ping the sword out of Pustulus's hand. Or the other thing that I would say we could do is it distracts the sorcerer enough that it also disables their spell to contain the center tumor for a round. Like not permanently, like the other sorcerer who'd been like banged out of magic, but just fucks him up for a round.
I like the sword thing. I think that makes sense.
Cool, great.
Like. It's a bit weird because it's like the Nurglings are the thing that got the threat, but also it makes sense to me that it's like maybe as Valentine, as they're like climbing up, they're like firing at them. You shove one off, you fire, and like the bolt doesn't even explode as it goes through the Nurgling because they're too small, but it hits Pustulus's hand and knocks the sword away.
Yeah, I've always thought Morgan is like a sniper, and Valentine, we may technically be rolling 1 shot, but it's always a trio or 3 or 4 shots going through.
Yeah. It's like how I play video games with a pistol, where it's just like, fan the hammer.
Yep. Brain spray.
Unfortunately, the intestines that are wrapped around the blade mean it's not like, it doesn't fly out of his hand. It kind of like, it's attached to him, so it goes a little ways away, but it's good for Origath.
Be reeled in.
Who he's going to hurt a lot on this particular check. So,
those Nurglets.
Man, Nurglings end up being they're the Toby of this fight. They're the MVPs for Nurgle. Okay.
The little guys.
So just purely from damage, we've got you took 9, I believe, Valentine?
Yes.
9 was assigned to you? Okay. So that's 10 to Origath.
Oof.
But he's got soak.
And -1 from the barrier.
That's right, and that downgrades the
damage. It
Just
absorbs
the
damage.
Oh, the damage.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's very, very helpful for him right now. All right, so his soak will eat most of that. He'll take 2. He's gonna have to roll for poison. We've also got the triumph.
Can he get poisoned because he's goopy?
Oh no, you're right. He's goopy. Goopy.
He's a frown.
He's goopy boy.
He's made of poison.
I can't deal strain damage to the Nurglings, so for that 2 threat, I think we'll say
if you want to deal strain damage, traditionally when dealing with minions, strain damage just becomes traditional damage.
Okay, I'll take that then.
Because it's like if it's a character that you don't
so then
knock
2 of them
out.
die in the fire, I think makes sense to me. So that'll drop them down. Yeah, good play. Thank you, Ryan.
No problem.
For the triumph, I'm gonna say, what the fuck to do with a triumph against an NPC? Super weird.
One of the things, there are a few things listed on the triumph spend: upgrading the difficulty of your target's next check, or upgrading the ability of an ally's next check.
Okay.
They could be aiding Pustulus.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I was going to do something terrible, but we can just do that instead. Yes, that's fine. So I'll upgrade.
Terrible's also an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do the terrible thing. The elevator goes down. So Morgan, you step off of it, but the elevator has been called.
Oh, I was like, I'm gone. Goodbye.
I don't think you're just standing there being like,
it's moving.
this is fine.
No. Okay, good.
Eli's probably down there. Okay, so the elevator closes behind you and heads down.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So that's the Nurglings. Origath is improbably still up. The other Nurglings, they see you step out, but they're, I think, probably too far. So they'll move up to you, but that's the best they can do. So Morgan, you have Nurglings kind of running
towards
hungrily at you. The ones in the far corner can't really see much of what's going on. So they're just going to chill in that far corner. They're not very smart. And I also, with all the fighting that's happened recently, I think probably just kind of used to people roughing each other up, not fully understanding the dire nature of this. And like Elmstad has been screaming nonstop for like weeks, so
it's all the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a quiet room.
Yeah. Next up are the Daemon Host. So Daemon Host Green is just right fucked up. So it's just going to take a couple of those classic Frankenstein monster swings.
Okay.
I'm not counting it as an attack because it can't, but it's just that kind of like grabbing at you, like trying to hug you, like swinging at you, but just you're not even necessarily ducking and weaving that much. It's just having a hard time getting its bearings. The other one is on the far side of the tumor. The only person it can see is Morgan. So it's going to go for you, Morgan. Okay. So let's get weird. It's going to make a telekinesis check against you.
Oh.
So...
Don't worry, the doors behind you are closed. That's important.
Until they
This
open
isn't
with
one of those
more
open
enemies.
elevator shafts that we've
Yeah.
dealt with previously.
Yep.
Schwarzenberger has not been summoned yet spiritually.
Green. Okay. And it's against a 4 purple check. Yeah. I don't think there's any boost for it. I don't think there's any setback because you're not in cover. You're just kind of standing there.
And I don't know this is happening. So
Yeah, you're unaware this is happening. I will give it a boost for it adds setback based on weird warp shit. And I feel like that should boost it similar to how Gideon's regaining more strain. Okay, so I'm rolling 4 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue against 4 purple. Would you like to spend a story point?
I know Morgan doesn't even know this is happening. I don't know how. Yeah, there's no way to impact this for our team.
Fair enough.
She's looking down a scope at the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 5 success and 3 triumph or 3 advantage.
Whoa!
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so
I'm
sorry. I'm so
scared.
sorry. Yeah, no, advantage. It was unintentional.
I would have been, I'm going to be honest, even if that for a villain, that's pretty sick, though. Like, that's
Yeah.
fucking chaos, man. That'll get you.
Okay, so if successful, I can move you a range band in any direction. You're frozen in place and cannot act until the beginning of its next turn. And it can spend 3 advantage to extend this by 1 round. So it just raises its gooey hand and says, "Get over here!" And just yanks you across the room. So it took Valentine 2 moves to get to where he is. So I'm going to say being dragged diagonally still probably takes... Oh, I mean, if you're being dragged diagonally, no, because it took Attikus 1 move. So it pulls you right up to it. And I think this feels like, Morgan, just like your legs are moving without wanting to. You walk right up to it and cannot...
Yeah. Is this, can I feel like the whole body is tensing or is just forced walk?
I think it's like you're doing the crooked puppet walk thing across the room.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then I think that you
don't
just
like that,
hear
don't like
over the full comms.
Wait, is she frozen? Can she
Yeah,
talk
can I
or is
talk?
she frozen?
Well, you're frozen in place and cannot act. So no, I think that would probably apply to your mouth as well.
So
This is
nothing.
statue floating across room if we're
Well,
frozen.
I think so you don't have control of your body. Your brain is in there, but your body's not responding. So if
Right.
you're trying to say things into the microbead, you're not saying
Your jaw's
Okay,
locked and
great.
stuff too, right?
And that's it.
Yeah. So off you go. Trin Rakai will yell, "Hey, the sniper's gone. Can someone get the sniper?" Because he can't talk, and we know he does incessantly. He also doesn't have a gun anymore.
Yeah, well then Toby is also staying right there because if she can't do anything, she can't make Toby come with her.
Toby can
Interesting.
follow verbal instructions from any other allies.
Yes.
So any of the rest of the party can tell Toby what to
But
do.
if she can't use her
Which
stuff.
Gideon would not know
Yeah.
because
No.
Gideon has no
And
Toby experience. But
Toby wouldn't go on autopilot either because he is still technically side-linked to you.
Yes.
You just can't control.
I can't if I can. Well, I don't know if can I use my brain if my brain is being taken over by this thing.
Your body's being taken over by the thing. It doesn't control your brain.
So then Toby is still in play as Morgan while Morgan is frozen.
That's
Morgan can
true. So on
instruct
my
Toby.
turn, I could still instruct Toby, even though I
as long
have
as it
no
isn't a
other
verbal
turn.
command,
That
It's a
makes
mind
sense.
impulse link, so that checks
Yep.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the way I'm envisioning this is that, because it doesn't, nothing in the description, like it's called warp shackles.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to me that
No, it's a shackle. People can still think
that's
within it. They're just trapped.
You're just a brain in a jar.
That mind impulse link really
Yes.
coming in.
All that
Okay.
XP you spent
Yeah,
to get that.
that's good.
Yeah, worth it. All right, so Morgan stalks over to the demon host. But that is its round. So and you don't take any damage from it, which is good because it adds so much fucking psycho damage. Hachimachi. Okay, so over you go. Interesting. Okay, so that's that one. And then, the other one just swings its arms around. Next up is the warp tumor, which is just what it is. So with all that in mind, we come back to the top of the round with the 3 remaining sorcerers. Okay. So the one that Valentine shot at is going to move to stand near Attikus and the demon host because now it has to cover this entire side. And I think because Pulus took a bunch of damage from... No, Pulus hasn't been...
Correct. Pulus is not dead.
Pulus is fine.
attacked
They're going to
Jeffrey.
keep going with the job. They've got a job to do. They got to keep it going. So they're going to keep going. That's fine. So they continue to do their warp thing. That's that. Next up in the order is Jeffrey Schwarzenberger. So he is badly hurt, but looking for vengeance. And
Go get him, Jeff.
wreathed in flame. I am trying. So what is he gonna do?
He's got that extra green dice that I passed along to him.
Thank you. He will need it desperately.
I'm rooting for him. Anything I got.
He's gonna take another swing this time, and I think if this goes badly, then he might change to helping the party. But
And there's a boost on the table as well?
No, there isn't because I
That
took
was
it back to do the
taken.
disarm.
yep.
Okay.
Okay. So
I thought there was 2 for a second.
let's go, Jeffrey, and 1 extra green.
And didn't Jeffrey get an upgrade on his attack from the Triumph that
That's
was
what that
rolled?
extra
That's what
green
the
is.
extra
Okay,
green is.
okay, go.
Well, the
Just
upgrade actually
double-checking.
turned one of his greens into a yellow.
Oh, great.
which
Yeah,
seemed
we
better.
like that.
So that's good. That's a good use for him. Okay, so he's got all of those. I'm going to give him a boost because Pulus doesn't have a sword right now, so it gives him a bit more room to play. It's 2 purple, but obviously Pulus upgrades those to red, so it becomes 2 red, 1 purple. Setback for being covered in nurglings. So we got 3 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue, 2 red, 1 purple, 1 black.
Let it ride.
Yikes.
2 advantage and a despair.
Oh.
Goo.
Jeffrey.
Damn it, Jeffrey. This was your plan, Jeffrey.
We believed in you, Jeffrey.
I want to be clear. The plan was to get to the gate. We never cared if this guy made it. He was supposed to buy us time to get to the gate. Why'd they put it in the goo? This place sucks.
Why couldn't it just have been a gate?
I just wanted a door. A door we could run through and leave Jeffrey behind.
Sometimes a gate is a gate. Sometimes a gate is a big fleshy tumor.
When we
That's why the warp sucks.
when we saw the sorcerers, like I don't know if Gideon would be able to make this connection, but we saw this, like you shot the tumor and then the sorcerers were casting some kind of magic on it and that hole like closed up.
That was the hole closed. He shot the tumor, but it was once the thing everybody would. I don't know. See, this is the question of did you see it or not, which is a side thing. Because the visible version would have been Morgan shot one of the sorcerers and then that corner of the tumor stopped growing.
Yeah.
That's the visual version of it. But I don't know if you would have spotted that while
That's
you
what
were
I was
busy
wondering.
casting a bunch of
Yeah.
psychic
Right.
shit and
Concentrating
surrounded by
and-
demons.
Oh,
yeah.
fire.
doing
We-
my own thing.
yeah, that'll be a Tom question once he's found what he's looking for.
Because I'm
We
debating
circle
if
around
I
to
turn over and
do
try
a
and
Jeffrey.
like blow up the tumor, would he realize like, oh, I've got to do this first and then
Or does he?
Or does he just
Are you more powerful than them? We don't know.
I
right?
don't have any answers.
The elevator starts coming back up.
Shit, sandwiches.
Yep.
Yep. With the 2 advantage, he'll just like swing the sword, with all of his might, and Pulus just does that like Darth Vader thing, or just grabs it and Jeffrey Schwarzenberger is doing like the double arm, forcing against it, like blasting Pulus in the stomach with psionic blasts, and just isn't moving. And there's just that moment of, oh, okay, like this won't go. So over his shoulder, he's going to pass the advantage to Attikus, because he knows you're wrestling with a demon host, but it's becoming a quick, like, if I can't do this, maybe you can, sort of situation. But that sucks for him. Great. So he just says, "It may not be possible to destroy the Filth Lord, but at least you can trap him here. You must go." Bring us to Attikus.
Thanks for the feedback, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Water is wet. Thank you. So that's one boost die added to my pool. Okay, I'm gonna try and. It's hard to gauge, I guess, looking at these things how they're doing health wise, because they already start off looking pretty shitty.
And they don't respond to pain.
Yeah. So Attikus is gonna try and finish this. He feels like he got a good shot, and he thinks maybe he can finish this guy off.
All right, go for it.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Plus a boost. It's 2 red and a purple.
Correct.
And barrier stuff is for my defense, so that's all settled.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna roll. 4 advantages.
Did you win?
Just another. He said this already, but just shut up. Just more. What to spend that on? I'm gonna do 1 boost specifically for Morgan, and then 2 boosts just up in the air for whoever gets him next.
Okay. Right. So just taking the big swing, and again, it's swinging its arms, and I think this is less a matter of you missing and more a matter of it just taking a stagger when you weren't expecting. Swinging that fist is like hard work, so fist goes, it's out of the way, but having heard Morgan's in danger, just like thinking of her, throwing that her way, and continuing to battle the demon host, as Pulus, kind of standing over the flailing Jeffrey, just starts wrapping his arm around the blade. He's going to use his maneuver to drag the blade back up. But I'm going to say that because he doesn't have it in his hand, he can't swing it this round. So instead, he is going to corrosively vomit onto Jeffrey, which is interesting because Jeffrey is a poison boy, but he's going to try and reassert control of one of the minions of Nurgle.
Oh, dear.
So he just says, "Obey grandfather's wishes," blah, and he'll vomit onto Jeffrey. So Jeffrey is going to, let me just make this a Jeffrey check. I'm going to give him a boost. This is a weird one. This is a very Kingdom Hearts Power of Friendship song check thing. I'm going to give him a boost for Morgan and a boost for Gideon, who have both really kind of imbued him with. Actually, I'll give him one for Valentine as well because you gave him a new name and a new meaning. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He gets a setback because you just told him to
shut up.
Just
told him to shut up.
Yeah, he doesn't take anything from you. He just he doesn't have a strong enough connection. It's very Mass Effect liked. Were you friends with this person?
Yep.
Okay, so I've got 2 yellow, 2 green, 3 blue, 4 purple, and you still got the fire shield up. So I'm going to add 1 in for that because that probably burns up some of the corrosive vomit. He should be able to make this, but he hasn't been swinging hard. So let's see. Nope. It's 1 advantage and 1 failure.
Jesus.
So he just starts screaming in agony and rage as this falls on him, and just kind of as it seeps into the eye holes of the mask in his mouth, he just takes the flaming sword, turns it and rams it through his own chest, and then forces his head into the firewall, just letting it burn his face and skull away, because he would rather die than aid Postulus against you. And so Jeffrey Schwarzenberger burns up, a failure in his quest, but hopefully enough of a distraction to allow you to escape.
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features the voices of players Ryan LaPlante, Tyler Hewitt, Josh Halbot, and Del Borovic, alongside Game Master Tom McGee. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentyne Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Mithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Beef Not Cheese, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Adam, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.